They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. So I hope you're ready for me to rant because I have a lot to rant about. I'm getting so many demands for a video on Azuki, a video on Memeland, so we're going to start off with that. And then I did want to talk about some upcoming projects because there's a chain out there, believe it or not, that didn't get the memo that we're in a bear market. So there's timestamps below if you want to fast forward to a part that interests you. As usual, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, it's just my opinion. And if you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button and hit retweet if you are on Twitter. So the NFT market is dying. I'm seeing a ton of people post NFTs are dead, PFPs are dead, the meta is dead. I'm also seeing people say this is definitely the bottom. Nobody can call the bottom. Even if they do call it, it was pure luck. For a while, the market has been this PvP battle and Blur really accelerated that. I know there's a lot of people complain Blur turned NFTs into ish coins. Most NFTs are ish coins with pictures on top of them. So Blur only revealed what the market actually was. But the other issue is there's no new buyers. It's just the same people passing money around and letting teams extract money in between when we pass it around. So until we get new buyers, the story is probably not going to change. And it's pretty crazy seeing some of these prices. Like, who would have thought we would have Bored Apes under 30 ETH? Now, I do believe we get another NFT bull run in the future. Does this mean your PFP or whatever is going to go to its all-time highs? Does this mean we're ever going to see Bored Apes at $500,000 again? I don't think most of these projects are ever going to hit their all-time highs again. I do think the meta is going to continue to change over time, but I don't believe that PFPs are dead. Now, we're definitely going through a culture shift, especially on crypto Twitter. People have become incredibly toxic, and it definitely feels like we're having a PvP on Twitter in order for people to rank higher on Inspect. There's so many copy paste threads out there that I couldn't be bothered to read. A lot of people got a taste of engagement when the whole Elena fiasco happened, and now they're just posting threads attacking anything they can, even if they probably don't believe half the stuff they're saying. You need to have this controversial or negative opinion in order to get the views, and way too many people are doing this instead of trying to build a brand and add value to other people. Now, whenever the market is down, people start to get negative thoughts, they get really down on themselves, and this negative cycle tends to happen. So I understand from that side. The whole Azuki stuff definitely didn't help. 2 weeks ago, Azuki was trading above 17 ETH, and if you look at the floor price now, it's hovering somewhere around 6, which is like a 65% loss. And people keep asking me if I'm buying the Azuki dip. Now, I'm a very big fan of the Azuki IP, especially that trailer they dropped. That thing was awesome. Now, I really want Azuki to succeed. They have a cool community. There's a ton of people who have money on the line, and I would never wish for any project to fail. But the more I think about what Azuki did, I can't help but feel that the Vegas event was just a giant marketing campaign for their mint rather than an event to celebrate and meet all of their holders. The way I'm looking at it, they essentially, if you count like the trailer, which was 400,000, and the event, all the merch, the setup, everything, they essentially spent, I don't know the actual numbers, but like $1 million or 1.5 million on this marketing event that allowed them to sell a product and raise $40 million from their own community. Now, in my opinion, they knew what they were doing when they did not show the art. They fully knew that having a 10-minute window was going to cause FOMO and get people to just insta-mint rather than giving it a chance to get to the Dutch auction and having a lower price. And I know people are going to say I'm fudding, and this is just my opinion. I'll be more than happy if I'm wrong about all this, but it does feel like they knew what they were doing. So no, I'm personally not buying here, and that's not because of like morals or because I don't like what they did. I saw people are trying to do like a lawsuit to sue Zagabond. He didn't do anything, or I don't believe he did anything illegal. You purchased a product that he was selling. So that's fine. You made that decision. That's on you. I would have minted as well if I had whitelist, and I'd be down bad. I would just cut my loss and move on. But the reason I'm not buying here is because I can't see how they turn this around. So until I see that, I'm personally not touching these, but I still love Azuki and I still wish it does well. Next up, let's talk about the Captainz reveal, because after they revealed, we did drop all the way down to 4 Ethereum. Now, full disclosure, I own 7 Captainz and 3 potatoes. In hindsight, I should have sold them when they hit 10 ETH. Then I could have bought back like 15 or 16 Captainz at current prices. But let's talk about what went wrong with the reveal, what they could have done better, and what I'm doing with my Captainz now. So I'm seeing a lot of people post like they don't like the art, it's Fiverr art, but they need to understand that these are the base Captainz. If you want to, have thousands of traits across a ton of brands that they will be onboarding, your base Captainz need to be very plain and simple. Now, do I think revealing them with the trait packs so people could customize their Captainz would have been a better play? Yes, it definitely would have been better received and a much better user experience. But despite people knowing, like we knew, I think I said it in like 5 different videos, we knew it was going to be a traitless reveal. The market is irrational and the market doesn't always do research, and it just freaks out on the most minute detail. So as traders, we should have predicted like this might not be the best received thing, especially after Azuki and the comparisons everybody was making from elementals to the Genesis art. We should have been able to predict like people are going to be fudding because they see duplicate Captainz, even though they're not duplicates, right? It's just the base Captainz. Now the argument of you had 6 months and this is the art you reveal, like this isn't the full art. They have a ton of traits that are ready to go, or I hope they're ready to go. So we've only seen the base models. So it's, disingenuous to say you had 6 months and this is what you reveal when there's a ton that hasn't been revealed yet. Again, the market is very impatient, including me. Like I was like, yo, reveal, reveal, reveal. Now, the other thing people were complaining about was the mistake on the alien where the shoulders kind of popped out of the t-shirt. And we do have leaks showing Ray speaking to the artist saying, leave that mistake in, and people are going to learn to use the bounty program. Now, this could have been way better communicated. I wish they would have said like, hey, we're revealing the art. There is a bug. Whoever finds it, go report it in the bounty program and you're going to get some sort of reward, just to gamify it and to get people to use that platform. But instead it was used as FUD against the project. And I also would not have put it on the alien, which is the grail that people were paying like 50 ETH for, and there's a mistake on their piece. I really wish this would have been like on a trait or on the humans or something. Now, the thing that bothered me was the reveal seems to have been delayed for a while because Ray was saying you don't reveal unless you have an announcement because reveals cause dumps and you need like a counter to that. But it seems like we revealed and there was no announcement. So all that was just for nothing. But to everyone asking me if I've dumped here, I still have all 7 of my Captainz. I personally believe we still go up from here. We still have Memecoin. So no, I have not sold anything. And after listening to that like 2-hour space that Ray did, it gave me a lot of confidence. And to be clear, I'm going to take profits 1000% on my Captainz. I'm not diamond handing holding all 7 of them for life, but I really liked what he was saying during the space, and it showed he's a founder that knows how to build a business and he has a long-term vision. Now, some of the things that stood out to me during that space when he brought up CryptoPunks and he said they are the best immutable project, they have the culture and nobody is ever going to be better than punks. However, Captainz can be the best mutable project, and they are building it from the ground up with changing traits in mind and letting people have the perfect PFP that represents them. And this is really powerful when you bring in other brands, which they are perfectly positioned to work with, because I guarantee you with the success of a project out of 9gags, a ton of brands looked at them and wanted to work with them or probably reached out to them. I've seen this countless times. When an advisor works with a project that does really well, they get a ton of business. And when you look at Web2 brands, pretty much all of them have had failed launches. And a lot of them who want to get into Web3 are now scared, especially due to the market conditions. So launching traits with Captainz is great for them because they don't have to risk launching their own project. They get exposure to Web3. It's a new revenue source for them, and they could start building a sub community through these traits and then even activating these traits. Imagine a one-piece trait on your Captain and everybody who has it equipped at a certain time gets like a signed manga from the creator of One Piece. So that's my opinion on Azuki. That's my opinion on Memeland. So now let's talk about some upcoming projects. So ETH projects are down bad. We even got Bitcoin projects that are down bad. The only one that seems to be doing well right now is Ordinal MaxiBiz, which has like a 0.4 Bitcoin floor. And I'm also still very excited for Little Peepos. But there is one chain that has been doing very well despite the market conditions, and that's Polygon. Now, while I did miss a lot of these, there have been some projects that have been pulling some really good multiples on Polygon. And the thing about Polygon projects is the mint prices are cheap, the transaction fees are very low, and a lot of these projects have floor prices that are sustaining above the mint price. So it's not a race to get out the door like it is on Ethereum. Now, I won't spend too much time going over the projects that have already minted, but I do want to show you some examples of what I'm talking about here. We have Alpha, and yes, this one did mint a while ago, but he has been launching more projects after this one. This one minted for 19 Matic. It went over 4,000 Matic, which is over 1 ETH for essentially almost a free mint. If it was on ETH, it'd be like a 0.00 something mint. And it is still sustaining at 2,000 Matic with volume. Now, another one this founder launched is Ring Runners, which dropped something like 2 weeks ago for different prices, but around 55 Matic. And it is currently sitting at 170 Matic. We also have Drill Club, which again launched a while ago. This was a free mint that went all the way up to 350 Matic, and it's currently still way above its mint price. So there's a ton of projects on Polygon that are doing well and sustaining. So I definitely want to give it more attention. Now, there are a few projects that I have my eye on. I'm going to talk about 2 in this video. The first one is 9, and I can't explain it. This one, I just have a feeling it's going to do well. Looking through a lot of these Polygon projects, they don't have like a crazy roadmap or anything, but they're not getting the same scrutiny that we give to ETH projects, where we're like, what's the founder's background? Why won't he dox? None of that. It feels very much like the earlier ETH days, where if you have a decent project with decent art and a good website, it's going to do well. So for this one, I like their art, I like their website, so it's definitely one I'm going to be keeping an eye on and watch their mint, which is happening on July 7th, because this is going to be a signal for me if the Polygon NFTs are still doing well after the whole Azuki market nuke. But another one that I'm, not financial advice, fairly confident that is going to do well, that I've spoken about in the past, is going to be Pluto. And the reason for that is this is Polygon's flagship project. Now, one thing I like that they're going to be doing is they're going to allow people to mint this with ETH. So even though it's on Polygon, I know that's going to sound weird for people, like why not force them to buy Matic? But I see this as a great way to get people from other chains to onboard into Polygon. When it comes to mints that are on Solana, I'm often scrambling to get Sol at the very last minute. We just had the Bodogos mint by Easy Eats. Congrats, it fully minted out and it's still doing really well. So congrats Easy Eats on your project. But last minute, I was in my Discord saying, yo, somebody send me 5 Sol so I can mint this. So the fact that they're letting people mint with different cryptocurrencies, I see that as a great strategy for onboarding. Now, similar to how OXBT really pushed this Ordinals and BRC20 wave, we had Pepe really start the Memecoin trend, and you had Mad Lads help Solana with a push. I'm very hopeful that Pluto can have the same effect with Polygon projects. And then a ton of projects that come after Pluto do well. So what I'm doing is I'm not waiting for Pluto to mint. I'm looking for Polygon projects now, and I'm trying to find the ones that I like and get whitelist for those. So by the time 9 mints and by the time Pluto mints, if they end up doing well, like I think they will, and people start paying way more attention to Polygon because there's money to be made there, I'm already well positioned. Now, the other sector that I'm looking into is gaming, especially with this whole PFPs are dead narrative. I think people are going to be looking for more utility, and one of the best sectors for that is gaming, especially when it comes to like utility passes or land plays that give you control over resources for games that people are going to want to play. Now, although there's no news on an NFT for the project, I did have the honor of being an alpha tester for Oh Baby Games over the last weekend, and I had a blast playing this game. I can tell you, I would come to my computer and my first reaction was to go click open this game. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next alpha test, and I'm hoping that they do give us some invite codes so we can invite our friends and our communities. So if I do end up getting some codes and you want to play, let me know in the comments down below. And this isn't for whitelist or anything, it's literally to play their game, so only write if you like playing games. But I'm really happy that the game is actually fun and it plays super well after all the hype I had for it for the past few months. Now, there is one gaming project. It's not like the typical game, like an FPS shooter, but it is still a game that is coming up. And that is going to be the second drop by Mahjong, and that's their Tama project. It's entirely a free mint. And if you remember their first mint, which was also a free mint, this thing is still sitting at a 0.6 floor. So if Tama even does half as good, that could be a 0.3 ETH NFT. And even even if it doesn't go that high, this is a free mint, so it is risk-free as long as you're using a burner wallet just to be safe. Now, I'm gonna link 2 links down below. The first one is a pre-mint raffle where you could try to get whitelist. The second one is for their quest, and if you click here, if you had whitelist for the first drop, but you were not able to mint, it does seem like they are giving you guaranteed whitelist for this project. So if you had whitelist, you weren't able to mint, definitely check this out. You're gonna have to connect like your Twitter, Discord, your wallet and all that. I did it, it's safe. But again, like I always say, always connect a burner wallet to this stuff to not get rugged. That's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, would you kindly give it a thumbs up? If you're on Twitter, retweet it. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching the Crypto Gorilla.